What is up, everyone? Welcome to the video. I hope you guys are doing well. Today we're going to be talking about a little bit of a controversial topic, and that is women working out during their pregnancy. And I was debating on talking about this, but I talked to my friend Sporty Beth CrossFit here on YouTube. Really recommend that you guys go follow her channel. Anyways, I was a little nervous talking about this, but she said, hey, you should really talk about this because I did share my pregnancy journey here on YouTube, especially me working out during my pregnancy. If you want to check it out, it's all linked on my YouTube channel if you haven't seen it. But I did share my pregnancy journey and I did share my fitness pregnancy journey. And I definitely got a lot of comments, a lot of hate, a lot of people being very negative, saying that I was going to kill my baby because I was working out during my pregnancy. And there are definitely some varying opinions when it comes to working out during your pregnancy. And more specifically, I want to talk about Clair Toomey doing the CrossFit open workouts during her pregnancy. So without further ado, let's get into the video. I don't really have much of a plan, so it might be a little scattered, but I think that this is something that's very important to talk about. So a little bit about me, of my working out during my pregnancy. I didn't work out my whole first trimester. I was just too sick. It was rough. However, I saw my doctor for the first time at the end of my first trimester. That's just how it works here in Canada. And one of my main concerns was working out during pregnancy. I did a lot of research because I knew that I wanted to work out during my pregnancy, and I heard many differing opinions. It was actually very confusing and very stressful, just trying to figure out what I could be doing during my pregnancy. And the rule of thumb here in Canada was that you should not be lifting over 35 pounds. And I was like, okay, 35-pound dumbbell might be a little heavy, but 35 pounds on a barbell is very light for me. That's like nothing. I have a 300-pound deadlift, like 35 pounds, what? No, like that's too easy. And I saw women that were lifting a couple 100 pounds, 150 pounds. I was like, can I actually be lifting more than 35 pounds in my pregnancy? So I went to my doctor and I said, hey, like, can I lift more than 35 pounds? And she was like, technically she wouldn't recommend it, but if I am someone who does a lot of weightlifting and is used to heavy weights, then it's fine to lift more than 35 pounds. She said typically the rule of thumb is that you're not jacking up your heart rate to the point where you can't have a conversation, you are struggling to breathe, and that you're just having a hard time getting your breathing and calming down, like getting it under control. And also you're not lifting weights that is too strenuous for your body, and that you really need to listen to your body and what you feel is good for your body. So that is how I kind of approached things. I also worked with my physiotherapist. We worked a lot on my pelvic floor because I knew that was an issue that a lot of women deal with. I didn't want to be peeing my pants when I was doing double unders in a workout. So that was one of my main concerns when I started working with my physiotherapist. So that is kind of the information that I followed during my pregnancy. I did have coning, which we will discuss Tia and her coning later on, but I did have coning pretty early on in my pregnancy. I think I had it around 20 weeks. I was a very big pregnant woman, and so my abs were separating quite quickly, so I had to stop doing any hanging positions, any pull-up positions. I couldn't do any like flexion or anything like that. Like, coning was happening for me, and I didn't want that to continue to happen because if you don't know, your abs are separating during your pregnancy. I'm probably not the best to explain this, but I'm going to do my best. And if you're worried about coning, go see a physiotherapist, talk to your doctor, do some research, but you know, it's not the end of the world. When it comes to coning, you're not injuring your baby. It's just causing more strain on your abs. So your abs are like being stretched out because you're pregnant, obviously. And so when you're kind of flexing your abs, they're gonna kind of come together, and that's what they call coning. Is like this like kind of cone position in your abs. It's kind of creepy to see, not gonna lie. Anyway, so I had that pretty early on, so I had to stop a lot of movements. I had to kind of step back, and I decided to step back from a lot of those movements. Could I still do them if I wanted to? Yes. Would I recommend doing them? Probably not, but you know what? It depends the person, depends what they want to do. It's none of my business. It's me to decide and what I want to do. if someone decides to cone, that's their own issue, which we will talk about soon. So I dealt with that during my pregnancy. I also just struggled in general. I couldn't do too high of intensity CrossFit workouts. I couldn't run. When I tried to do a 400-meter run, I thought I was going to die because my heart rate jacked up super fast, and I was like, okay, this isn't good. So I decided to stop running as well, just because my heart rate and my breathing just jacked up way too fast, and it was just so uncomfortable for me. So I was like, you know what, this isn't safe for me, not safe for the baby, I'm not gonna push it. I'm also not the best runner in the world, so you know what, I'm okay with that. That being said, I was still back squatting over 100 pounds at 38 weeks, and I ended up giving birth at 38 and a half weeks or something similar like that. I think it was close to 39. Anyways, that is besides the point. I was still able to weightlift. I was still able to lift heavy weights because that is what I'm really good at. But a lot of my weaknesses, I had to kind of stop because they were just affecting me a little too much in my pregnancy, and I didn't want to push it. So that being said, this is kind of an inside look of what it's like to work out during your pregnancy. However, it's going to be different for every single woman. We all have different fitness levels. Some women are runners and they're able to run perfectly fine. They're able to run long distances during their pregnancy. I couldn't even run 400 meters because I was just completely out of breath, and then my heart rate was jacked up way too much. So it's all different for each and every one of us. I could continue weightlifting. Some women cannot continue weightlifting like that. They need to really lower their weights. And I had a lot of people saying that I was gonna kill my baby, I was gonna do all these things, when I was like trying to do my best and take the best precautions that I could take during my pregnancy. I wanted to make sure my baby was safe. I wanted to make sure I was safe. And I was doing everything I could do. But if someone saw a 15-second video of me working out, I got tons of hate comments of people saying I was killing my baby, which is probably the meanest thing that you could ever say to a woman. That's just horrible, and I hate it. And this is why I wanted to talk about this video, because Clair Toomey, one of the fittest women in the world, she did the CrossFit Open workouts, and the amount of hate that I saw in her comments was absolutely disgusting and completely unfair. So do I agree with Clair Toomey doing those CrossFit Open workouts while being pregnant? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I think. A lot of people need to remember that Clair Toomey is one of the fittest women in the world. She knows her body better than anyone else. She knows how her body feels. She has made sure her body is in the best shape that it can be for years now, many years now. And for people to think that she could be so careless when it comes to her pregnancy and working out during her pregnancy is ridiculous. I'm sure, and I'm pretty positive. I can't say 100% because I don't know her personally, but I am sure that she has consulted her doctors. I'm sure she has worked with physiotherapists. I'm sure she has made the best decision that she can make. On average, the average person, yes, cannot do what Clair Toomey was doing. Was it a little bit risky what she was doing? Maybe. Would I do those things that she was doing? Fuck no, because I can't. I am not Clair Toomey. I cannot do most of those things. And I know a lot of people were very concerned about the coning in her stomach, because in 2023.2 there was the pull-ups that she was doing and people could see that her stomach was coning. A lot of people were concerned about the toes to bar in the first workout, because yes, that takes a lot of abdominal control to be able to do that many toes to bar while being pregnant. That's for sure. That is very difficult. I don't even know anyone who could do that. That being said, that's her decision. That's what she did. But I know a lot of people were concerned about the coning. I saw a lot of the coning that was happening in the second workout, and even the third workout when she was going down, there was some coning. That's her decision. At the end of the day, coning isn't affecting the baby. The baby is not getting hurt. It's really just putting more stress on Tia's abs. And you know what? That is her decision to make. That is her decision to whether she wants to keep doing those movements or whether she wants to stop doing those movements. That's her decision. But she's not endangering the baby by having a little bit of coning in her stomach. Even then, her coning isn't that severe. Like Annie Thor's daughter, if you saw her during her pregnancy, she had pretty severe coning. Me, I had probably more severe coning than Tia has right now. Tia's in her third trimester. It's very typical that a lot of women will start coning in their third trimester. don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure like a majority of women are coning, just because at that time during your pregnancy, you're just so completely stretched out. And I'm pretty sure Tia is due in a couple months, so this is typical time where you do see a little bit of coning. That whole spiel, that being said, it's not your decision to tell her whether she is endangering her child or not. That is not your decision saying that she is going to kill her child by doing these workouts. She did take precautions. She made sure that her stomach wasn't touching the ground. She made sure she didn't do the ring muscle ups in the first workout because that was going to cause too much stress on her abs by doing that forward movement. She made sure that when it came to snatching, she wasn't connecting the bar on her hips and that she was muscle snatching, which is impressive within itself. I think she was muscle snatching 155 pounds, which is pretty impressive, I would say. I don't know anyone who can do that. At the end of the day, we can't comment and we can't say what she's doing is right or wrong. That is not our decision to make. It is up to her to make those decisions. And I know that she is more than fully aware of what her body is doing while she is working out. However, I think that Clair Toomey should remind everyone that yes, she is Clair Toomey. She is the fittest woman in the world. So when it comes to her working out, it is going to look completely different than the average person like you and I. 50 toes to bar is probably nothing to her at the end of the day. Most CrossFit Games athletes who are elite, when it comes to the CrossFit Open workouts, it's usually not any different than their typical workouts that they do in the gym on a daily basis. They may push a little bit more, but they're not going so intense that they're gonna completely be redlined, washed out, that they can't even talk and that they're breathing so hard. Yes, they might put their breathing up a little bit, but they're able to recover quite quickly because the beginning stages of the CrossFit Open aren't difficult for them. The hard stages for them is really at the CrossFit Games. So for us, who are the average kind of person who does CrossFit or the average person who works out, yeah, these workouts are going to be more difficult for us because this is something that we want to challenge ourselves with. So it's just like saying, maybe if we're used to doing RX workouts and we decide to do a scaled workout, our scaled workout might be a lot easier and we might not be dying at the end of the workout. Whereas if we RX the workout, we're dying, we're breathing hard, we're, trying to catch our breath, we can't really have a conversation. So when it comes to Tia working out and doing the CrossFit Open workouts, these are pretty similar to her typical workouts on a daily basis. It's nothing that's pushing her body to the limits, that she's jacking up her heart rate so much that it's putting strain on the baby. So at the end of the day, we shouldn't be criticizing Tia for the workouts she is doing during the CrossFit Open. She is making the best decision for herself and for her baby, and that we have no idea what is happening behind the scenes. We are seeing 15-minute, 10-minute, 5-minute video of her working out, and we're making a judgment on that. And I think that it's important that when it comes to seeing a woman working out during her pregnancy, you can't make a judgment on such a short clip that you see. I mean, we see so many clips on social media and we're constantly scrolling all those things, and it's so easy to make a quick judgment, but we need to stop and think and say, hey, like, we have no idea what this person's background is. We have no idea what this person's doing behind the scenes. So saying someone's going to kill their baby by working out is ridiculous. And it's a very old mindset. And I know a lot of older generations, I definitely got a lot of older generations freaking out when I was lifting weights. They're like, you can't do that. You're going to hurt yourself. You're going to hurt the baby. It's changing. Today's day and age, when it comes to women being pregnant, they do recommend that women work out, that they move their bodies, that they're walking, that they're maintaining a good health, because they want women to be healthy during their pregnancy. And so going in with an old mindset, thinking that women shouldn't be moving, that women shouldn't be doing anything during their pregnancy is absolutely ridiculous. Our bodies are doing incredible things. Our bodies are growing humans, and we want to stay as healthy as possible. And I think that it's important that we still move our bodies during a pregnancy, and nobody expects women to go from doing nothing to doing like an insane workout. Nobody's doing that. I think that we need to remember that when it comes to seeing women working out during their pregnancy, and that we shouldn't be quick to judge, and maybe, talk to them, see how it's going and see how they're doing things. And I think Tia should open up a little bit more about that too on her channel. I think that's a great thing to remind people that she is Tia and she can work out during her pregnancy, and she hasn't let this pregnancy slow her down too much, and that she's still able to maintain good health. She's able to eat well. She's able to move her body how she feels fit during her pregnancy. And yeah, And you know what? Maybe Tia should open up a little bit more about her pregnancy journey. Maybe she can show how she's recovering from some of her workouts during her pregnancy, how she's eating, how she can remind people that this is how she worked out before. This is what she would do before her pregnancy, like a typical workout session, what she would do, how intense she would go, and how she's going now in her pregnancy. So I'm actually going to end off the video here because I feel like I'm just repeating myself and rambling a little bit, but I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Obviously be respectful, but we shouldn't be judging women. We shouldn't be making comments on women when they're working out during their pregnancy, because we honestly have no right to, especially when it comes to men making these comments. That really drives me nuts, because I had a lot of those too, when men don't know shit about pregnancy. Unless they're an expert in pregnancy, they really can't make a comment. And yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below, and I will be responding to as many as I can. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button down below. You guys know where it is. And don't forget to be unstoppable, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Summer days burn me out, love just brings me down. Cold inside like winter leaves that slowly leave the ground. Hey, you come back, I wanna give you a chance. Love me like you used to, so we can learn again. The skin is getting brown, baby, drink your night.